I'm speaking with a background in the voluntary sector, but I thought my insight as a local councillor would be helpful to you. See, I've been elected since 2007. Obviously, over that time, we have seen increasing climate chaos, and we have to ensure that our efforts to bring about local, national and international climate action are really to the fore, and I'm really grateful for you attending today. Your role is crucial at this time and cannot be underestimated. But local governments working with the voluntary sector have really critical impact as well, working at the forefront with the voluntary sector, protecting and promoting human rights of the people they serve in response to the climate crisis. Along with voluntary organisations, local governments has direct contact with people, and councillors like myself receive demands and complaints from residents while developing and enacting policies directly affecting their lives. So I've led on climate emergency and ecological emergency work and supported the development of a climate plan by Glasgow City Council. So local government has a key role, and during my time as a councillor, we have sought to deliver human rights through our local policies and programmes. So to find a vibrant, ambitious, transformative leadership on human rights, it is worth looking at local councils and the work that they're doing alongside the voluntary sector. With more and more people living in cities, we know that we have to really consider the impact of cities on the climate, and climate mitigation and adaptation work can be delivered very effectively through cities. And cities like Glasgow has to adopt a human rights approach to prevent the economic disparities increasing and any violations of rights in terms of access to food, housing, water, healthcare and education services. It's the people in the most vulnerable situations, such as older people, homeless, migrants and minority groups, that find they have their economic, political, social and cultural rights under even more threat due to the climate crisis. Housing is something that obviously many of you will be working on, and it's one of the crucial pressing social issues that we face, and a human rights issue that impacts on my work daily. We have to continue to stand up and recognise housing as a human right and enable cities to be sustainable, diverse and vibrant. We have to fulfil our commitment to tackle the impact of climate change and invest in ensuring that we have housing that is resilient to extreme weather events, working with tenants and residents to deliver more heating projects, rolling out energy efficiency measures, tackling fuel poverty and addressing the financial crisis that many are facing due to the pressures they have with the costs of living. So working with the voluntary sector, we can deliver housing retrofit through the work with housing associations in particular and tenant-led organisations. We can support the delivery of low carbon heating systems and better insulation to properties. Our demand for housing is growing, rents are increasing and housing waiting lists continue to rise. So it's vital that we see further resources and legislation such as rent controls and compulsory sales orders for empty homes implemented, because we know that giving investment to retrofit will deliver significant benefits to our communities as well as address the climate crisis. Key part of local council work and voluntary sector organisations is maintaining civic space and the freedom of expression and ensuring that there's access to basic services and urban planning. I'm involved in planning process at the moment for the new city development plan, and you may have heard of the National Planning Framework, NPF4, which is an important role to play in delivering human rights and justice for everyone. The more that we can do to ensure that democracy is enhanced and we have a diverse representative body of councillors, the better it is for human rights delivery as part of the planning process. We need to make sure that we've got experience and skills from a wide range of people to address local issues. There are barriers to people getting involved in politics and being involved as councillors and elected due to parental responsibilities, caring responsibilities, and we do need to make it more attractive for everyone. So I think through work with the voluntary sector, we can hopefully reach out and enable more people, particularly women, where we've got a situation where many women feel insecure and don't have maybe access opportunities that they would like. Public realm and the planning process and how we create a city of the future is going to be crucial. We need to make sure that women feel they can engage and get involved. This could open up job opportunities, enhance the autonomy of disabled women, women of colour and unpaid carers and lone parents. We have adopted a feminist town planning approach to embed, and this is going to be embedded in the city development plan, and we want to ensure that equalities and human rights experts will be consulted and there'll be a full gender and equalities impact assessment applied. Cities are generally designed by architects, urban planners, engineers and policymakers, all fields historically dominated by men, and women have been lacking in representation and participation in the planning of urban spaces. So as a city, we're keen to develop a women's lens on our decision making and making sure that people from marginalised groups as well feel more able to be part of the city. The death of Sarah Everard has created a watershed moment for the rights of women and girls to safely access the public realm, and we are taking steps to address our policies and practice in light of this. We have to fix endemic cultural issues on intimidation and harassment faced by women and improve safety and the perception of safety to help women feel fully engaged within our public spaces. So the city development plan, I would encourage everyone to get involved with it and support the development of the next plan over the next 5 years. We have to disrupt the really ingrained culture which designates public spaces as being for men and male activities. Alongside this, I think we can celebrate actions that have taken through campaigners and activists along with local councils to deliver the low emission zones and tackle air pollution and bring about improvements to public health. We've seen a low emission zone in the pipeline in Glasgow since 2010. The proposals were first put forward as part of the legacy of the Commonwealth Games in 2014, subsequently developed with a plan by Scottish Government in 2016. In 2017, the Council agreed to be Scotland's first low emission zone, and we rolled it out on the 31st of December with buses introduced at first, and now we've got a lot of investment has gone into improving bus fleets and improvements in air quality have taken place. The low emission zone is something that's been rolled out across other cities in Scotland. It did have a lot of, it is having a lot of engagement. There's been a lot of evidence gathering and consultation over many years. And we have to obviously keep ensuring that people are involved and engaged and learning more about the impact of air pollution and air quality on their lives and the benefits of the low emission zone. It shows what can be achieved through the efforts of everyone campaigning together who cares about air quality. So I think the climate crisis is one of the greatest threats that Glasgow will ever face. And we are aware that we need to plan for a just transition to make sure that no one's left behind. And this is more urgent than ever. So in recent weeks, we've published the Just Transition Working Group's report and 18 recommendations. I would encourage the voluntary sector to engage in this process It has been led by Scottish Green Councillor Bailey Elaine Gallagher, and in the coming weeks there'll be opportunities to get more involved, and we want to hear people's views, particularly around developing green skills and jobs, apprenticeships, retraining programmes, and the rolling out of net zero projects. There is a need to bring forward community organisations and businesses and workers' rights as part of this. In a world where human rights defenders are increasingly under attack, local governments are also in the forefront of this, and the Deputy Mayor of Paris has said that we have to protect our local government as well. We have to monitor attacks on local government representatives and protect and defend their human rights at an international level. So I would say that to support the work that you're doing through the voluntary sector and enhance local government, we do need to increase the participation of people in decision making to shape lives in response to climate crisis. But this does require solidarity and close working relationships, supporting each other to make the world a better place. We have to reduce social and political tensions and build a culture of peace and greater understanding of the importance of human rights. Thank you.